I really hate that I have to come on here and make another Doomer styled video about the Smash Brothers community and how horrible it is. But when I made my last video, it was more about my own personal experience. And moving forward, I will make more videos whenever something like this happens, which is going to be the topic of what I'm going to be talking about today. This video, however, is going to be centered around a certain individual and their experiences with the Smash Brothers community and how unfortunate it is that just because of the character that they play, they are subject to ridicule, bullying, harassment, and even receiving death threats just due to who they chose to pick up and play in this game. The player that I'm referring to is Onin. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Onin, Onin is a Steve player who has made a name for themselves in the Smash Brothers community, proving himself to be a very dominant player, a top tier contender for just being able to win major tournaments such as Super Smash Con 2022, Gamo 2022. I think they even won a combo breaker as well. But not only just that, but also putting up amazing performances and even beating players such as MKLeo, Meister, and a long list of people who are at the top of the food chain when it comes to Smash Brothers community, top 100 players, and has also established himself in that top 100 list. Now again, just due to the fact that he broke that one cardinal sin, the one thing that you're not supposed to be doing when you come in and play Smash Brothers, he decided to pick Steve. Now, it's just due to that one decision that people give him such ridicule, harass him to no end, and it's got to the point that recently, after his performance at Crown the Third, a pretty stacked tournament with, again, the likes of players like MKLeo, Tweak, Zomba, he had to deactivate his Twitter and decided to go on a hiatus from competing in Smash Brothers Ultimate. And again, I'm not even exaggerating when I say that the sole reason why he's receiving these kinds of threats is because of the character that he plays. You would think that he would have had to do something more horrible, something so obscene for people to send him such crazy messages. But again, the only reason why people are doing this is because of the character that he decided to play. After his performance at Crown the Third, he went out to put a tweet saying, "I've been upset for the past 2 hours and I got done talking with my mom about everything that's happened to me in the past year." And this is referring to everything that he's been going through with the ridicule, the hates, solely because he decides to compete and places well, and a lot of people hate him because of the character that he plays. He also says, "I don't want to play the game outside of my house anymore right now. I really want to take a giant break. I need because all the hate I've received." It's a damn shame that someone like him, who is I think 16, who is full of potential, has all the means to do amazing things, is sponsored by an organization who has made a name for themselves for sponsoring players such as ESAM, Cosmos, Mutace, who is another player on the rise. And it sucks to know that we might not see Onin compete anymore just due to how people treat him. And again, it's not because of anything insane or anything necessarily bad that he's done. He hasn't really done anything bad at all. The only thing that he's done is choose the funny block man that people decide to hate on him for. And this has been something that is not really specific to him. Obviously, it's something that is predominantly centered around him, since he is the one that is competing and he is the one that is getting amazing results. There's also another player by the name of Akula who has been in contention to be #1 player in the world, who also receives a ton of hate and has also mentioned that he just doesn't, at times he feels like he doesn't even want to compete, just due to the fact that people give him so much hate whenever he even comes up on streams or whenever he gets a good placement. I understand that people are frustrated with the characters such as Steve, who has some insane stuff in his toolkit, and he's able to do things that most characters, if not all characters in the roster, are not able to do. It got so bad with the character that a lot of people started to ban him after a new tech was discovered where he was sort of able to get out of hit stun. And after that, a lot of offline and online tournaments, some major tournaments as well, decided to ban the character due to that. And me, just to get my opinion of the character out of the way, I don't really necessarily mind the character. I understand once again that the frustration is there with the characters just due to the fact that he's able to do some crazy things that most of the roster is not able to do. But I feel like the Smash community doesn't know how to differentiate the character from the player, which is a very important thing to do, because I could understand the frustration that you have with the character, but the minute that you decide to spew that hate onto the player that is playing that character is when things go too far. And there is no distinction with the Smash Brothers community. There is no they don't have the capability of doing those things, because solely because you choose that character, that means that you must be some sort of horrible person, that you are selfish, that you just only care about winning, and that you don't care about the feelings of others because you chose to play that character. And I will say, just from seeing and being on the sidelines of things, I have seen that Onin is a very positive person, is a person who a lot of people really want to be around, not just because he is a top player, but he is also just a genuinely funny person. I feel like a lot of people agree that he is just a blast to be around. He's even befriended the likes of Akula, who again is in contention to be #1 player in the world, and I'm pretty sure that they have that similar relationship where just because they play Steve, they share those experiences with people giving them that ridicule. And it's a damn shame, right? It sucks to know that that's the thing that you bond over, right? But I'm pretty sure that they're good friends just because, you know, they're able to share that similar experience and kind of cope with it with each other. Now you're probably asking, what can we do about this? What is there to do? And to be honest with you, now that we're so deep into Smash Bros. Ultimate's life cycle, what can we do? And to be honest, with how Twitter is, with how hateful some people can be, and again how difficult it is for some people to differentiate the character from the player, I don't think that there is much that things will change. There was a tweet that was put out by my good friend Champ, who also helps me run Deathbed Esports, that made me think about this whole thing in a very different way, and it was something that I didn't even consider. I'm gonna go ahead and read you his tweets. Champ on Twitter goes on to say, after looking at Onin's story and just looking at the things that happen, it honestly makes me a little frightened at the thought of him doing super well at a major. A young player playing Sonic and Kazuya, who are considered carried and boring to watch, does well and gets sent death threats. I wouldn't want that shit, and I know no one else would too. It's time for everyone to grow the fuck up, stop being little, I'm assuming he was gonna say little bitches, and get a fucking life. If I get sent one death threat at all throughout my youthful Smash career at all, I'm fucking done. I'm not gonna waste my time and energy into that shit. I'm not gonna let people ruin my mental health because of a stupid baby party, badly programmed ass video game. I want to have fun, not want to kill myself. And to me, that is something that, again, I didn't even stop to consider. The fact that somebody again from the outside looking in, who potentially knows that they're decent at the game, who wants to get better at the game, but just because of the character that they chose to pick up, and or maybe just associate with, they grew up with that certain franchise, they have some sort of bond or memory with that character, and they want to play it in Smash Bros. Ultimate, they potentially stop themselves from doing so just because they're afraid that if they potentially become good, they start going to these offline tournaments, or maybe just making a name for themselves in the online scene, that they're gonna get ridiculed solely because of the character that they play. Again, this is not solely specific to Steve. This also goes for Sonic, Kazuya, or even Pyra and Mithra, who are considered to be top tier characters. You'll get called lame, you'll get called boring, you'll get called carried solely because of the character that you play. And at even times, it even gets into the territory of people sending you death threats just because you chose to play a certain character. And it sucks to see, and it sucks to know that there isn't really much that will change, right? It sucks to know that a player who is up and coming will potentially never reach their true potential solely because they're afraid of the ridicule that they might face when playing this fucking children's party game. And it really sucks to say, but I don't think anything will ever really change in this aspect. I feel like a lot of people get overconfident just because they know that they're behind that screen, that they're not actually engaging in a one-on-one in-person conversation, that they could get away with saying these obscene things to the person that they're spewing that hateful nest to. I feel like 90% of the time, even if they are met with that person that they're spewing such hateful things in person, they will never say that shit. It's, again, they get that extra boost of confidence because they know that they're behind that screen, that they could get away with saying such obscene shit, but in person they're just the biggest pussies, right? They say it online because they know that they will never say that type of shit offline, right? They get away with it because they're on Twitter, they're on Discord, you know, nobody knows who they are in person, nobody knows how they look like, so they feel comfortable just saying the most obscene, hateful shit. But in reality, we all know that they're the biggest pussies and they will never do anything offline because they're just degenerates, right? They're degenerates, they're hateful human beings, and nothing will ever come in their life. So what do? They just end up deciding to spew their hate on twitter.com. And getting back to what I was initially talking about, I really wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Onin in the Smash Brothers scene anymore. I wouldn't blame him if he decides, you know what, I've proven that I could be a top player. I've proven myself to be on the same level as the top 100 players. I have climbed the ranks in that top 100 list, only to be met by such ridicule, such hate. Why am I even bothering with this? Why would I want to associate with the community that hates me because of the character that I feel passionate about, the character that I'm good at? Why would I want to stick around when winning means nothing when I get faced with such hateful comments? And that is sort of going to set off the ripple effect of other people being from the outside looking in, like, yeah, the Smash Brothers community is so hateful, it's such shit. Why would anybody want to be part of that? But I'm gonna leave it at that. I really hope that as pessimistic as I am about this, I really hope that something happens, right? Because I wouldn't be surprised if there is another edition of Smash Brothers, whether it be Smash 6 or a re-release of Smash Brothers Ultimate on a new Nintendo console. And I sincerely hope that something changes. As pessimistic as I am about it, I really hope something changes, because it desperately needs to change. People shouldn't feel scared to go out and compete, right? I feel like a lot of people kind of hold themselves back due to things like the character that they chose to pick. And it's a really damn shame that people go to tournaments and they feel nervous, not because of their performance that they're about to have, but because of the people, right? What if they win and there's people watching the set that they're playing, and then there's somebody starts getting rowdy, somebody starts getting crazy just because they don't like the character that's on their screen. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you guys feel about the whole Onin situation, about the whole people not being able to differentiate the character from the player. Let me know how you guys feel about the video. And I really hope that something does change for the better, because the Smash Brothers community definitely is long overdue for it. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you guys enjoyed, hit the like button. If you guys want to stay tuned for more videos, I promise that I'll try to make the next one more positive, maybe some stream highlights or just something completely different, and we'll go from there. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.